So what are you going to do with your candidate database full of thousands of passive candidates that have at one point raised their hand and said, I might be interested in what you have to offer? You're going to be able to use all the tools inside Salesforce to take advantage of that passive talent and turn them into active applicants for your roles. Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Salesforce for Recruiters. I'm your host, Brad Owens, and I was just like you. I was a recruiter for well over a decade, dealing with various pieces of technology that never really fit what I wish they could actually do for me. And then I saw Salesforce, and I went, where has this been all my life? So I started Salesforce for Recruiters to help you avoid all the mistakes that I went through and learn a new platform, and hopefully some tips and tricks that I learned along the way to help you get the most out of your Salesforce investment. So for today, we're going to talk about the most underutilized value in anybody's system, and that's passive candidates. Now, how does Salesforce actually help you with passive candidates? Well, let's define what a true passive candidate is. So a passive candidate, we think all the time about, hey, we've got these people who are interviewing for a job, who've applied, who are moving through the system. Yes, we focus on placements and value and contractors and people we have on assignment. That's what makes us money. But we get those from all of the people that we interact with. And our database is filled with thousands upon thousands of people that we haven't had any interaction with. Maybe ever, but sometimes for a long period of time. So walk with me here. When we create a new position and we offer people the ability to apply, we're starting to see hundreds, maybe even thousands of applications, depending on the type of role. Of those, maybe we only talk to 10%. And then of that 10%, we interview the 5%, and then we actually move through to the final offer stage, and that one person gets the job, right? That high level, that's what we're dealing with here. So what happened to that 90% of all that talent? Nothing. It's the biggest candidate black hole ever known to man. And they hate it. Those job applicants absolutely hate the no communication. I call it the application black hole. We have a database filled with thousands of people that we could build relationships with that we're not currently actively interested in, but have already shown and raised their hand, hey, I might be interested in what you've got going on. Isn't that what we're looking for as a business? We're looking for those people who will tell us, hey, I might be interested in exactly what you're doing. We have an entire database full of those people. Yet we spend countless thousands of dollars on marketing to try and bring in all these new people. We've got a database full. So this episode is about taking care of all of those people, getting an ROI from the people that are already in your database. The first way that I found out Salesforce can take advantage of all of those people in your database is to be able to craft some tailored outreach to those individuals. So we already know something about that person, right? We know the type of position that they applied to. We already know the information that's in their resume, so we already know a little bit more about them. We could already start sending them tailored communications. So let's say we're a firm that does IT positions, and we also do security, and we also do financial, and we also do maybe tax as a part of that. And even under that tax, we can have tons of different variations of that. You could do internal audit. You could do external audit. You could do, there's so many different things that you could do. So for each one of those variations of that individual, you'd have to send a certain type of message. And with Salesforce, you can create those types of segments of individuals based on what you already know about them. So the jobs they applied to, the things they're reviewing on your website, the emails that they responded to in the past, the links that they clicked. You can start tailoring your message to those people just based on the information, the very little information that you already know about this person. And if I already start to get some of that outreach from a company that knows just a little bit of information about me, but uses that tiny little bit they know to send some tailored outreach specifically for me, that's going to make me listen up a little bit more when those new opportunities come. So it's that ability to send some tailored outreach to those individuals that applied that you never really spoke to about a position, and you're able to start activating this completely underutilized part of your database. Now, what do we all need from our talent to be able to find them a new position and to be able to have that relationship built with them? We need trust. Trust is the foundation of that. How do you start building trust with an individual that you've never spoken to before because they may not have been a fit for the position they applied to originally, but yet they're sitting in your database? Well, one, we talked about already, it's that tailored content. It's that content that's specific for a person. But The way that you start building that trust is through consistent engagement. Now, consistent engagement could be as much as, hey, I'm going to email you once a month about all the new positions that are open that you might be interested in. That's good. They will start to see you as a trusted resource for those types of positions. So that's not a bad place to be. But think about how you can tailor that message even further the more messages that you send them. If I send them the first message, and let's say we're just going after someone who is related to finance roles that we recruit for. So if I send out a first message and I have internal audit here and I have tax here, and they click on the tax ones, cool. Next time I send them a message, it's not going to be about internal audit. And then I start sending them tax messages, and now they're interested in roles that are more working from home than they are having to go into an office or travel like Big Four jobs or something like that. So now I'm starting to learn even more about this person. And the only way you can learn more is through consistent outreach, consistent engagement. And that's something that Salesforce is really good at. They're really good at creating these messages that consistently get more and more specialized and more precise for that kind of person you're reaching out to over time. And that's something that those tools are great at. So now that we've got this database of thousands of people that we're trying to activate and become from passive to active job seekers on something new, how are we going to know when the right time is to reach out to that person about a specific job? Well, if we're following along with what we've been doing so far, 1, we've been sending tailored outreach. 2, we've been sending that consistently. But 3, we have not just the things that we're doing, but we also have the ability to look at what this talent has been engaging with and when and how. Think about all the signals you as a buyer go through when you're trying to buy a brand new product. I can tell you my process at least. 1, I get a little bit of interest. I start doing some Google searching. I start ending up on some different websites. I start giving out that information of, hey, I've been here. I've actively looked at this stuff. I've raised my hand once to say, hey, I might be interested in those things. That's just once. But then I'll save it and I'll come back to it a couple days later, and then I'll have that browser open or that browser tab open for a little while. I'll start looking at that thing for more time. I'll start spending more time on these things. I'll start doing a little bit more background research, and all of these signals are starting to tell the system, hey, this person might be more interested. So think about all of those emails you get about, hey, did you leave this in your cart? Think about everything that had to happen up until that point so you get that tailored outreach of now might be the time. Let's go ahead and make this decision. That's the type of thing that Salesforce is fantastic at. Replace that object and that cart with an application process and them actually applying for a particular job. You can pinpoint that moment where you may have the best possible chance of getting that exact applicant you're looking for, and you can get them to take action by these automated outreach types of engagements that you can send out with Salesforce. So Salesforce gives you that ability to pinpoint the moment and make sure you're in front of the right person at the right time who's ready to make that decision. Now, all this time we've been talking about passive candidates and things that we can do to shape our message and that we can influence for a candidate to help with our outreach that we're sending them. But what about some of the passive things that you can do that will take these individuals that are getting content from you, but then converting them into, oh my goodness, this is like a tailored experience. This isn't just tailored content, this is tailored experience. So Salesforce has the ability to tailor things like the websites that these people are viewing, and let's take that a step further, the jobs that they're given, that they're presented in their feed, and the descriptions that you see. You can tailor each individual piece of that content for that individual that's viewing it. So if you have a passive candidate that has applied one job 3 years ago with you, and you've been consistently sending them out these targeted reach outs that they're interacting with here and there, you're starting to learn a little bit more about this person. Let's just shape an individual right now. Let's say they are interested initially in a finance role with you, and then that finance role turns into, oh, they actually meant tax. And then that tax role actually turns out to be, hey, they're in Washington, D.C., and they want something around the D.C. area. And then they start paying more attention to those roles that are primarily work from home. You're starting to learn more and more about this individual. So when they read a job description, we put all of this time into writing the perfect job description, but it's perfect for who? Right? It's perfect for that one potential message that hopefully resonates with a bunch of people. Why wouldn't we be able to take advantage of Salesforce's features and say, all right, this one person, when they come to our website, the first paragraphs that they should see is about work-life balance and working from home. Second should be about where it's located in a fantastic part of Washington, D.C. that's in the suburbs and has the ability to raise a family and everything else. Those types of things you can start to tailor through Salesforce's tools. So when we're thinking about how we're actually taking this passive audience and making them active, so taking advantage of our thousands of people in our database and making them active for you, we need to take advantage of all the features, not just content we're sending out, but the actual material that they can see when they go to your website and interact with things, maybe even through social media or whatever it might be. We can tailor not only just the outreach, but the things they actually see. That's where Salesforce is just heads and tails above everyone else. So what are you going to do with your candidate database full of thousands of passive candidates that have at one point raised their hand and said, I might be interested in what you have to offer? You're going to be able to use all the tools inside Salesforce to take advantage of that passive talent and turn them into active applicants for your roles. The tools that they have available to you to be able to custom tailor content, to not only send that one perfect piece of content, but to send it consistently and to learn, and to not only just send content, but have the actual viewable thing that they go to your website to see be tailored to that individual. It's just second to none. Salesforce is amazing at that. And I find that not a whole lot of people are taking advantage of those features of Salesforce, and they should be. Because when you combine the ability to custom tailor content, to send it out at a particular time to a particular person about a specific thing, and then take them through a highly personalized candidate experience journey through an applicant tracking system, and then at the end giving them custom tailored service through like something like a Service Cloud or something inside Salesforce. There's no other system out there that can do this. Salesforce is the only way. And I couldn't believe it when I saw all these features and realized, oh my gosh, this is the system I should have been using for years. So that's my journey in understanding Salesforce and why I feel like people should be paying way more attention to it in the staffing and recruiting space. So I hope this was valuable to you. If you think there may be more valuable content like this that you'd love to see, there's a ton more. Go to salesforceforrecruiters.com and you'll see everything there. And if it's not there, send me a message, hello@bradowens.com. I'll be happy to answer these questions on a next live viewer question episode. So it's hello@bradowens.com if you want to get that email. And if you want to find more content like this, it's salesforceforrecruiters.com. If you're curious what the best applicant tracking system out there that works on Salesforce is, it's Assemble, ASYMBL ATS. The Assemble ATS is absolutely second to none. It's the only feature add-on applicant tracking system out there that allows you to take advantage of all these other things that I've been showing you and also do your applicant tracking system in the same system. So it's the Assemble ATS. With that, I will turn you loose. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Salesforce for Recruiters. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.